Hello, my name's Helena Pielichaty and I'm a children's writer. I've written, over 30 books now, and mainly, I guess, most recently about football. So we've got Football Mad, got more football books, got non-fiction about girls' football. But if you don't like football, don't worry. I've got my big fat pink book about clubbing together and some teenage titles as well. So plenty to go on. When I go on school visits, I always say to children that I wouldn't be standing in front of them as a children's author today if it hadn't been for my library. But I just loved going to the library, and the fact that the books were free then as they are now made me into a reader. We couldn't have afforded to buy books, and I lived in a place where there weren't any bookshops. So my access was purely through the library. I loved it. I believe there really is a strong link between reading and writing. I don't think you can do one without the other. It's like having identical twins in the house. They need each other. I love getting absorbed in a story, getting lost in a story. And that's what I hope my readers do when they read my books. I want them just to enjoy the story and want to turn the page, just as I do when I'm reading. And I think from reading you learn to be in somebody else's shoes, and I don't think if you don't read, I don't think you can do that as a writer. I don't think you can make your characters varied and as three-dimensional without having read all the other books that inform that and how to do it. Pace and action and dialogue, it all comes from reading, as well as real life, obviously. And I have to limit this to 11, or can I have a full squad of 23? If you look on my bookshelves, I guess the authors you like are the ones whose books you buy the whole canon of their work. So if you look on mine, you will find nearly every Maurice Gleitzman. So he'd be in goal. He's my number one, because he writes consistently. He writes about things that really matter. But he uses humour. He's got such a light touch. Anne Fine was one of my early heroines for writing. Gwen Grant, who was my mentor. So many authors. Tom Palmer, one of the foremost for football. Mal Peet. Oh gosh, there are so many. Eve Garnett, Geraldine McCaughrean, Philip Pullman, Frank Cottrell Boyce, can do no wrong. I said Jacqueline Wilson, Beverly Cleary, Judy Blume. After you've gone, I will think of 400 more writers to go in my squad. But those are just a very few of my favourite writers.